And that might be the group. But the thing is they all have these beautiful streaming lights everywhere, which just makes it. Oh, my sound just went on. That was random. So basically, this whole thing was one first day in Austin, tremendous food. And I was so full, and I thought, oh, my God, I'm never going to make tomorrow. So we finish the Grove. I finally go to my friend's house, Lee and Lauren, who have the coolest house. And they are the ones that have the cat that is half cheetah, half domesticated cat. And that little kitty is he's not as big as like a cheetah, obviously. But it was about the size of their dog. It was a pretty good size, and they have beagles. It was a pretty good size, but it's the sweetest kitty ever. Leo is his name. So there's Leo. Yeah, cheetah. Just like he's big. He's a big boy and super sweet. So that was my first day. And then Friday. Oh, okay. Oh, so now my chef Lawrence can't call in. That's a bummer. Okay. Oh, well. Well, so needless to say, so my one chef was going to try to call in at the W, but the W's PR has to get pre-approval first before he does anything, and this was very off the cuff. So we'll get you on anyways, Lawrence. I'll have you call in another day. So I will talk to your PR people. So that was my first day. Then Friday was the official like kickoff day of the Food and Wine Festival. And I started my day. Let's see what I've got here. That's just something else here. So my second day, how long are we doing? We got 1 minute left. All right, so we're going to go on to Friday. Friday was the first day. That was my day where I actually got to go to the W, ironically. And they had, the Food Republic had set up all these interviews. And so that's where I met Paul Key, even though we have a lot of mutual friends. Paul Key, who was one of the chefs on Bravo's Top Chef. Was he Top Chef? I think it's Top Chef. So, and then I also met Michael Ian Black and Reggie Watts and all these, so Michael Ian Black and Reggie Watts are comedians, not foodies. But I had gone, not yet. That's the big one. That'll be after the break. There we go. There's Reggie Watts. So Reggie Watts is really, really funny dude. And we got how much time left? Like 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 20? Okay. Well, I will come back to that. But it was a lot of fun to just kind of sit in the audience and listen to them talk. And this was right before I was going to leave to go interview Andrew Zimmern at another location. So when we come back, I'll talk to you a little bit about Michael and Reggie and just some of the fun things that they did. And then I have so much to talk about, so we'll just keep moving forward. I'll see you guys on the other side of the break in about 30 seconds, minute. Okay, maybe 2 commercials. Okay, after 2 commercials. Okay, bye. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 3 Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 3 Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, we are back on the air. So, back to my Friday. So Friday, the Food Republic and the Food and Wine Festival had scheduled these interviews, PR interviews and media interviews, and anybody could have gone to these rooms, and it was held in this back room at the W, in between the. There's like a little room. It's like a lounge in between Trace, the restaurant, and the hotel. So Brian Malarkey was there. There was quite a long list, actually. Christina Tosi, Brian Malarkey, Andrew Zimmern, and Ian Michael Black, comedian, Reggie Watts, comedian. And Reggie Watts, really quick, for those of you who ever watch any shows, he does Mashup. He's really, really funny. And he's just known for doing a lot of TV. So, and he was like the most real. Like he did an off the cuff beatbox, which I actually did record, and it was just for the Food Republic. So that was pretty funny. And then Michael Ian Black, who's been on a ton of stuff, but he was talking about his memoir. And I want to say that he did Kids in the Hall actually initially. Can you find that out? I think that's right. So if you can just look up Michael Ian Black. But his new memoir, it's not a new memoir per se, but it's still making some tread, is You're Not Doing It Right, Tales of Marriage, Sex, Death, and Other Humiliations. Oh, there we go. There's my picture of me and Michael, and he's super funny. Just downright super sarcastic. He's a dad, a husband. Like he's just a really very real person. And so is, Reggie's, I don't know if he's married or not, but Michael's like a family man who just is so grateful to even have an opportunity to do what he does, which is great. It's hard to come across a lot of people in the industry, but I'm finding more and more that I'm meeting more people, a variety of talent that is both already identified in the industry, already doing really well, and those that are just sort of up and comers. It seems like there's a much cooler feel to how people are behaving, and I think with the fluctuation of the economy and just how different the industry is, it's definitely turning out more quality, which is, for me, is fascinating because I get to tell better stories. So I actually was holding off on the Andrew Zimmern because right after this I would be heading to the South Austin Eatery and Trailer Park for the one-on-one with Andrew. So before we did that, Paul Key came up with his girlfriend, fiance, manager / co-restaurant owner, and Dina Sukam, and they were so fun to watch because Paul's just like a fantastic chef for one. He's just a really young guy, really cool, and he worked with Tyson Cole at Uchi for a while, with Philly Spears, and Philly Spears won Top Chef. I think he was actually he was in the top. I think he might have won. This is the problem. I work so much that I don't actually get to finish watching everything. So don't hold it against me, but I can't keep up. So, but did you have that by chance? Did you find that out? Philip Spears? Can you look up Philip Spears? He's the top chef. He like him and like, I remember Tom Colicchio like really loving his food. So, and Padma. So anyways, needless to say, we have this, I keep saying needless to say, I don't know what's wrong with me. Michael Ian Black. Oh, okay. So Michael Ian Black, there we go. The State. That's what he's known for. So he's the State, NYPD Blue, Viva Variety, Wet Hot American Summer. Like he's just he does a lot of parodies and comedic stuff. And then he's done some serious work as well. I don't know who's who. No. Okay. So, I know if you can just start walking him through that'd be great. So we're having some technical difficulties being away for 6 days. So we have, now at this point, Paul and Dina are up there just talking about how wild it is to work in a restaurant together, to manage it together, and then to live together, and how to just keep the balance. And so that was actually really fun to watch, just the in-between, and they seem to have it down. So that's exciting. So if you get to go to Eastside King, the food truck, and then they're opening a restaurant, and it should open, I think, it's summer is the plan. So stay tuned for all of that, and hopefully we'll have Paul on at some point to talk about everything. Then after that, I had the wonderful and incredible honor of going to meet with and speak with Andrew Zimmern. And Andrew Zimmern is, if you've been watching TV at all, yes, there we go. Such a nice man, first of all. But I had to send pre-questions. Like I didn't have to, but I asked if I should, and I did. I sent these really sort of deep questions, and I'm going to post the interview with him, like I said, on Monday. And I just have to, I really have to thank Mary Jo Exley and Tara Moore from Rogers & Cowan and Exley PR for just allowing me to be one of the few people that got to sit down with Andrew and talk with him. So I had sent my questions beforehand, and one of them was, you know, if you like dug really into the deepest parts of your soul, to the deepest parts of what makes you passionate about life, and you could identify yourself in a spice or herb, what would it be? And so when I sat down with him, I was about to sit down with him. It was a pretty packed event, and the South Austin Eatery and Trailer Park is just a bunch of trailers lined up, and they had this great band playing. So I wasn't able to go right in yet to get the answers to my question, but I did see Andrew, got to say hi, got to meet Mary Jo. And they had Illegal Mezcal there, by the way, and that is some good tequila. So I'm hoping that they will be one of my sponsors because it fits right into what we're doing on the radio and in the magazine. And fingers crossed, if I have the TV show, they would be a great sponsor for that. So in my events as well that I'm doing in LA, I would like to mix it up because I'm going to be working with Chivas Regal, hopefully at Augo, or the Writers Room here in LA in the next month. So stay tuned for information on all of that. But okay, so we go sit down, the music's playing, it's great music, and Mary Jo goes, is it okay? He really wanted to get up and sing with the band. So I don't know, do we have that clip ready? So we're gonna just, like, if you can't see it, at least listen to the audio, because it was really fun. He prefaced it with saying, you know, I'm not a singer, but I just wanted to sing with the band. He did a really good job. So here you go, in his yellow shirt and yellow shoes.
I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning came around. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
He was having a good time.
Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in the cave up in the hills. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there.
Band, and there was a female violinist up there, and just strumming that thing, and it kind of reminded me of A Devil Went Down to Georgia, the way that she would strum that, which is, if you've never heard that song, just listen to the instruments on that. So yes, okay, so Andrew gets up there, I go and I sit down with him, and he could not be any nicer, and the first thing he says was, I gotta tell you, I really loved those questions. And I felt oh, all right, that's awesome, you know. I know how interviewers ask questions, and I know that it does tend to get redundant, and people don't dig enough into like the core of who people are, that's what I'm more interested in, because I think everybody's familiar with their successes and the stories behind them, but I don't know that everybody knows sort of the detail of who they are as people and what makes them tick and what makes them see life as beautifully or colorfully and as passionately as someone like Andrew sees his life. And if you know his story, he's been sober 21 years. At one point was homeless for a year. It was quite a tremendous struggle. So to have his TV show and books and all of this, I mean, he's not a person that doesn't value his success. He really, really values every opportunity that he's given. And while I was there, I actually met his wife, Georgie, and I asked her to come and sit down with us during the interview. So I got to talk to them both. And at one point we had this question. It was outside of my 4 questions. And then it was like, how long are we together, baby? And it was just this really great moment between them. And they were talking about, oh, there you go. Oh, he's such a good cook. And he'll tries anything. And he was one of the judges actually at the Rock Your Taco event on Saturday. So we go, we sit down, we talk about our kids, we talk about life, we talk about travel. And one of his fondest memories growing up, which again, you'll read about in the article, was when he was about 3 or 4 years old, they would go down to the jetty in Long Island, and his father would pick him up and kind of feed his tiny little body in between the rocks, and he would pick up all these mussels. And so to this day, his favorite or most where he said whenever he goes anywhere, he'll order mussels because this moment is so fond for him. The memory is so fond for him, and he loves briny oceanic smells and tastes, and it all goes back to that food memory. So just to get that kind of intimate moment with him and his wife was really something I felt very honored to have the opportunity of, because I'm not truly I'm not a person that I'm not starstruck or anything like that, but there's just a certain amount of respect that I have for quite a lot of people that have just really gone through a journey to get where they are, because if you haven't fallen, you can get back up stronger and stronger each time. And he's one of those testaments to just how even when you falter, you get back up and you're just stronger than ever. So thank you to Andrew and everybody at the PR companies that made that happen, and to Georgie, who took the time to just be so lovely and let me in a little bit into your lives. So thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to posting that. We already only have 2 minutes left. Okay, so after that, after the event there, I went from there, and I met my friends, and we actually ended up going. We met down on South Congress. And we had an event later that night called Sips and Sweets at Mellow Johnny's. But we, before that, went to Perla's. And after the mussels conversation, they have these mussels on the menu. And Perla's is really good food and very good wine selection. Really beautiful piece of property. It's very distinct. It's blue and white on the outside, patio tables. Just, yeah, you can see that. Those are my friends Lee and Lauren, who were just the best hosts ever. And I got to spend so much time with them, and that was really the most beautiful part of my trip, to just get to see friends and then make so many new ones. So before we go to break, we go to Perla's, and they have these mussels. I don't know that any of us I've had like one other place where I had mussels this big. These things were like huge, but the mussel took up the shell. It wasn't like a tiny little, janky mussel. This was like a huge hearty piece of solid meat, and it was a very simple sauce, but it was really good. It was such a good sauce. So if you get a chance to go to Perla's in Austin, please go, because it was extraordinarily good, and worth 10 seconds worth every bite. So anyways, and then we're gonna go to Mellow Johnny's, where I met Chef Laura, and I want to say Coach Rec, because I feel like that's how you're supposed to say it, but it might be Coach Rec, at the W, and another great event. So we'll be back at the other side of the break. See you in about 2 minutes. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time. Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This segment sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more Mucho Macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, I'm back. Okay, so if you haven't gotten the gist, basically from starting of the day to the very last minute of every day, I was busy doing something, which was so much fun. Yes? Are we good? Oh, okay. So on Friday night, after we ate Perla's, we were invited to the Sips and Sweets. And I was most excited about going. I'm hot, so okay, I'm just going to put the fan on. Most excited, actually, because I was finally going to taste Chef Jody Elliott of Foreign and Domestic. I was finally going to taste her sweets. But when we arrive, we get there, and I get to see Paul and Dina again, Paul Key and Dina, and it was so fun to see them again. And walk in, and this place is packed, and there's great wine. But the most extraordinary thing was this display. And I don't know if you'll see the chandelier display. Oh, okay. I'm going to send this picture to you because you guys should definitely have this picture. Hang on one second. I will just keep talking about it. But basically, it was the chandelier that was dangling from the ceiling. And let me see if I can just send this to you. I'm just going to send you the link, Julio, okay? Is that fine? Okay. It was basically the chandelier, and there was like little crystal strings, but inside each thing, they were macarons, and they were every color, and it was just beautiful, this beautiful display. And it's funny because Andrew Zimmer made a comment later that was the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And it's honestly, I have to say, to the W Hotel at Trace, you guys at Trace rocked that because that was so beautiful. And not only that, but the gentleman that was there who works at Trace, who I have a picture of him with the absinthe later. Another story. Yes, there we go. So it was so pretty. And you walk, and that's just it. And then there was this beautiful display out on the table, but he goes, okay, wait, do you really want a macaron? Do you want to like take it up a notch? I said, I'm taking it up a notch, right? So he grab a macaron, and there's this painting that's on an easel to the side, and lining the painting, the edible painting, is frosting. So you dip your macaron in the frosting on the painting, and it was so good. It was like ridiculously sweet, but it was perfect. It was so good. And then I meet Lawrence, who is a very handsome chef over at the W, really nice guy. And he's like, oh, we have an event tomorrow night, and it was a Parisian themed event at the W, which we ended up going to. So this was my Friday night. Then I finally make my way over to Jody's table, and I finally get to take a bite of her brownies, and they were so good. And she's just a really cool human being. Her and Ned are probably just like a really dynamo couple, kitchen couple. And Foreign and Domestic was such a great restaurant. So if you haven't been and you go to Austin, find Foreign and Domestic. Get the duck fat soup if he still has it because it was so good. But he made at the Live Fire Challenge, he did I think it was a medallion with a strawberry, like he had roasted and did this thing to the strawberry. So you have this beautiful broth. He's very good at broths and sauces. This beautiful broth, and then this medallion, and then the strawberry on top. So anyways, back to the event. It's at Mellow Johnny's, which is a bike shop, which sounds crazy, but it was a really cool space. They had Prosecco flowing. They had wine, beer. Guinness was there. A lot of really cool vendors and stuff. So anyways, that was my Friday night. So then we go, and mind you, on our way there, we're over at South Congress, and we're thinking that Mellow Johnny's is walkable distance, maybe like 6 blocks. We're walking. It's way down from where we are. So we get what is called a pedicab, which is basically a rickshaw with a bicycle, and get in, totally rip you off, just for the record. They tell you just donations only, right? So we get the rickshaw, and I'm like, okay, how much? And he's literally We don't even go. We're in this thing, the pedicab, for probably 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, $15. Okay, $15. Then we go to this event, and like afterwards, we're like, oh, we're gonna have to grab one of those bad boys back or get a taxi. We get there, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna give him 5 because there's no way. He says, oh, 15 again, and just charges me $15, $30 to take this little pedicab less than a mile. I'm like, I could have gotten a taxi. I could have hired Donald Trump's limo driver and gotten there quicker and cheaper. So pedicab people, you guys need to watch yourselves because that's so shady. And then you just feel bad. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about this, but I'm thinking you just made probably like $125 an hour, right? Like you're a higher paid PhD, you know? Like I don't think you could be a doctor and get paid that much. So needless to say, that was our pedicab lesson. So that was the end of the first night. And then Saturday was the second day of the Food and Wine Festival, but it was really like the official kickoff to the Food and Wine Festival. And so after that, oh, well, no, actually before, so it was the first for me, the first like real long day. But that's where we started our day. I invited Jane out, who took some really beautiful pictures, which are going to post in the Winflow Osteria shot. So Molly Gerson at Paula Beeler PR was just so generous with time and everything. And although there was a little communication issue on Tuesday with Sean at Olive and June, it all worked itself out. So she set up a brunch for us at Winflow Osteria, which is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little restaurant. And it's got this charm that, yes, is very Austin, but it's also kind of like almost like bohemian chic. It was just a really cool place. And the brunch, I do think, is probably the best thing that they have there. I don't know. I heard sort of mixed reviews about dinner, but I didn't go there, so I have no idea. But the brunch was extraordinary. So I ordered polenta benedict, which is that one picture that looks like it's got green and crumbled pieces of bacon on top of the eggs. I know you've got that one. Polenta benedict, and then that sandwich that you said, what is this? That's the sausage panino. So I'm talking to my guy Julio in the booth. So this is the sausage panino. And then there's another one of the polenta benedict. There we go. So good. And it was just delicious. We ordered a Bloody Mary, and Jane ended up getting the Bellini mimosa. And she also ordered a French toast. So my friend Lee is the one that ordered the panino, and Lauren and I ordered the benedict. And then Jane was very, very, very gluttonous and got the French toast, which just looked like a pile of worthy goodness. Like you just knew you were going to gain 5 pounds from the first bite, but so good. And it was a very, very good brunch. So I have to say that that's probably among my top brunches. I'm a stickler for brunch. I really hate awful brunches. And I did end up going to Viceroy. Or, what do they end up calling? It's Viceroy. It's the Adler Hotel in Beverly Hills. For whatever reason, right now I'm blanking on the restaurant's name. I went there a couple weeks ago in Beverly Hills. That was another really great lunch, and they were so kind over there as well. So anyways, I'm always on the search for a very good brunch, but I don't want predictable. I hate predictable brunches. I think brunch should really be, I know people love them some eggs Benedict, but that should sort of just be on the menu no matter what. So I don't think that's anything special. Mother's Day's coming up, so if anybody wants to recruit me to try a really good Mother's Day meal, I am on board. My little girl is 6, and it's our Mother's Day date. So if you have any ideas for where we should go on Mother's Day, make sure you let me know as well, in Los Angeles, of course. Unless there's a really great one in Ventura or even Santa Barbara. Just let me know. But this was the start to our day. So we had started our day with just a scrumptious meal. And then we went, then I left everybody and I went to the Food and Wine Festival. And I just was there by myself to the Food and Wine Festival, which I actually think is kind of fun. I would have loved for Jane to go. So the next time I come, I'm definitely bringing Jane along to everything and just making sure we have our media passes because she's very easy to work with and super sweet girl, pretty talented photographer. So if you get a chance, go to atasteofcoco.com, and then on Facebook, make sure you guys like her, A Taste of Coco, and that's KOKO. So after that, we went to the Food and Wine Festival, or I went to the Food and Wine Festival, and they had a chef cook-off table. They had different tastings. That's where I was first introduced to H-E-M markets, and there just were all these, there's the pecan tent where they had demonstrations through KitchenAid appliances. They had different craft beer set up. Vivo Clicquot was there pouring. They weren't pouring on Saturday, but they were pouring on Sunday. And there was just some really, really interesting wines represented. It was kind of nice to see a lot of the California wines represented because, California really does have some of the most diverse vineyards. And everywhere you go, every region is slightly different. So, and they did have some Italian wines. They had tequilas, vodkas, everything. But what was really interesting is I went to this table called the, it was the cook-off. It was the chef cook-off table. And I met John from the Noble Sandwich Company, and he made this roast beef. It was just the beef by itself with this wonderful little sauce, and it was perfect. Like roast beef to me is one of those things that tends to be too dry or too undercooked. Finding a really good, juicy bite of roast beef is very difficult, and he did such a good job on this. So I just have to say, John, if you're listening over at Noble Sandwich Company, you rocked on that challenge. So I also had met Phil Spears of Uchi, who's the pastry chef there. And after that, we had the Rock Your Taco event. So that was by far the coolest, major event, I would say. And that was through the Austin Food and Wine Festival. And I know we have 5 minutes left, right? Or 3 minutes now? 1 minute? Oh, goodness. All right. 1 minute, 20 seconds. So I will be very quick. The Rock Your Taco event was every celebrity chef you could possibly think of. And Andrew Zimmern was one of the judges, as well as Graham Elliott, and who I met both of them. Just good guys. So we had Renee Ortiz from Sway was there. They had Mark Samuelson, Mark Murphy, Tim Love, Jonathan Wexler. They had did I say Marcus Samuelson? Marcus Samuelson. Gosh, why am I blanking on everybody's name? Tyson Cole. I did say Tim Love, who's also known as Tim Lovejoy. Susan Feniger from Feniger, I think that's how you say her. She's from Border Grill in California, and I have to say, of all the tacos, she's the only one that didn't do meat. It was really the tastiest of all of them. I'd say actually, I loved Tyson's innovation, and he won. He won for the second year in a row, and I totally get why he won. It was a hamachi taco with almond slivers in this handmade, almost like a rice-based shell. 20 seconds, okay. And it was really tasty. But I think I'm just so used to a certain kind of taco that I wanted a lot of flavor. And Tim loves, what am I saying? Brian Malarkey. So my top three were actually Susan's, Brian's, and Tim's. And I loved Uchi, but Uchi meals blew my mind anyway. So I will be back after this break. Actually, we have a call at 1, so we'll continue this conversation after that. And my friend that's going to be calling was there at the Taco Challenge with me.
Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. Hello, everybody. All right, so our calls are on the line. It's my interview with the girls from Italian Fix Travel, but I did want to just say really quick that I was able to verify. I'm so sorry. Seriously, I've had 6 days of like 2 hours of sleep on average a day, and a body filled with bites to prove that I was in South Texas, or in Texas. The restaurant that I was talking about earlier that was here was at the Avalon Hotel in Beverly Hills through Oliverio, and the chef is Chef Mirko, and it was a really good brunch as well. So thanks to Allie in New York for making that happen. But let me get the girls on the line. They're on the line? Or no? Line 1? Okay. Hello? Oh. Hello? Let's try this again. Hello.
Hello?
Hi. Is this Bianca or Tim?
Tim, I'm here. This is Tim.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for calling in. I'm waiting for Bianca to call in.
I hear her somewhere.
Is she there? Are you there, Bianca? Do you have mute on your phone?
Interesting. I heard her earlier when you said hi, but anyhow.
Okay, well, if you can't hear me, just call back, and we'll just do a conference and make it happen, right? Okay. So, first of all, I love that when you introduce yourself, you say Tim like the girl. Tim the girl. And that you branded yourself as Tim the girl. I think that is pretty clever. I have to say, clever, 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 and I love your logo. So,
But you know what? The funny part about it is that it's like been the joke of my whole life because my parents named me Tim, and so I have friends that I've had for 20 years that will say, "What is your last name?" Which is kind of funny.
Right, which is it McDermott? Or how do you say Darmiad? McDermott, okay.
Got it, yeah. But, because all my life, because there's no other female Tims, they would always just say, Tim, the girl. So,
right. I know, but it was so cute and then when I saw your Twitter and stuff, I was like, I love that. So, okay, so since Bianca's going to have to, hopefully we'll get her on the line in a second. Before we talk about the trip, I was talking about Rock Your Taco.
Oh, yes.
So, what would you say? Because I actually thought, I mean, Tyson's, I totally get it, the innovation and everything. But for me, flavor was Susan's, Brian's.
I totally agree.
And Tim Love's. I don't know.
Brian's was which one?
Brian was the one that you brought back that had it had the green sauce on, the one that I dropped, that somebody dropped.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and that was the one that had the most flavor, I think. And Tim Love's, though.
I agree. I think for mine, because I love anyone that does something inventive without meat.
That's why I love Susan's. She had the most flavor.
Yeah, Susan's was for sure the most flavor, and just also
it was fun.
It was fun, but it was like rustic, and it wasn't trying so hard. But that's my kind of style of food.
No, I like that. That was kind of my thing. And I mean, and now granted, I went to Uchi later and had the greatest foie that I think I've had.
Of course, Uchi is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I thought
for
that but for that challenge, I guess for my own, I was kind of the same. I really enjoyed. I mean, all of it was so good. But two, I think we kind of got it like at the tail end. I'm sure if they were fresh out, maybe,
Right.
That's the other thing you have to take into consideration when it's like a 3-hour thing or a 2-hour event.
I think something like that, though, a lot of times they're also going for just like Tyson's for sure was the most different.
Right. It was the most unique for sure.
It was the most unique.
But did you do
I still think like
I
was going to order had to order like 5 of those tacos out for dinner, it would have been Susan.
Right. No, me too. Hers. And I actually think, again, like if I could pick my ideal for like just like to take my taste or my palate on like a little tour.
It would be Brian.
It would have been Brian's, Susan's, and then Tim's, because Tim had that lime that was like soaking in chili pepper that you had to use as a chaser. And I thought, how clever was that?
Right, it was like a shot thing.
Yeah, it was and she was like, no, you don't, there was like a step process. I thought, I kind of like that. And then Brian's like, try to get it all in one bite, And
did you have the thing that Jason Dady did at
Oh, I did at the Live Fire. That was my pick.
the one.
The tongue in
no,
cheek.
it was not at Live Fire. He did the one for Friday night party, and it was like that. It was the half a lime with corn pudding on
I
it, and
did
you
it.
had to like take a bite. You took a bite of the corn pudding off the lime and squeezed the lime into your mouth.
Was
So
that the not at the Sips and Sweets? Which one? Because Friday was my day.
It was the Friday kickoff party.
Oh yeah, and I didn't go to that one actually. I had gone at that. I had
Okay.
gone to. That was the day that I interviewed Andrew.
Oh right.
So I was
okay.
at the South Austin Eatery and trailer park, and I was there for a little while, and then I ended up just going. We went to just a restaurant. I went to Perla's, which was pretty freaking great. If you
I
haven't
love
been there,
Perla's.
the
I've been to
mussels
Perla's,
were
yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
The mussels
it's
were
great.
really good.
So,
So
living in San Antonio, we go to Austin a lot because there's some definitely good dining here, but it's limited. It's
Right.
limited in its scope. Austin really has kind of
it's a
you can
huge
get
range.
other ethnicities, and you can it's for that size of town. I'm always shocked.
But what kills me is that I didn't realize, by the way, that San Antonio is only like an hour and a half from Austin.
Like 45 minutes.
No way. See, I'm thinking in my head, it's like LA, right? Where you go and you're
Right.
like, okay, if they say an hour, you got to plan for like 4 because
It
it's going to
totally
take
depends
you
because traffic can be really terrible. But if I pick
the
the
right
right
time.
I can make it from my house to like where like that side of town that Uchi, the south side of Austin in like 50 minutes.
And now what's that like mock what's the highway in Germany called? The Autobahn. Isn't that
The
like
Mock Autobahn.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually don't take that way. I don't know. Yes, but it's kind of out of the way to get to it. So it
Doesn't really save you time.
make it that how much of a time
Is it
saver
like a
unless you
toll
live
road basically?
near-
Is
It is a toll road.
Oh,
exactly.
okay. Which we now thank God
So-
there's more of those now in Southern California, which
Which
saves
is kind of good because, like, at least there's enough cheap people, so it keeps it kind of empty.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I would pay $50 just to be in Austin and not have to drive, so.
Right. Exactly. I would. Is there a train? There's not a train, is there?
They're just, you know what, there's talk, but, talk, it could be 10 years.
It could be because the funding is
It's
always
hard
like,
because Texans are so attached to, I can say this being not attached, everything I refer to is like Texans, because I'm not one.
Oh, you're a New Yorker.
Yeah. Is that San Antonio and Austin are both very spread out. So, like, the whole train debate is, like, what will people do when they get there, right? Like, people are very attached to having their own vehicle everywhere they go. So,
Oh, yeah.
what would be central? It's like most people aren't coming to San Antonio just going downtown. There's, like, so much stuff on the outskirts.
Which
I
is-
guess that's the train debate.
I mean, LA is the same. I think everybody likes to think of themselves as functioning New Yorkers, right? Like, oh my God, we could just take the train and walk everywhere. But
Right.
it's taken a while to catch on, but their subway system is really good here. Like, if you're
In LA?
yeah, if you can come back, you can go from
wow.
downtown to Hollywood, and it runs through midnight. So you could actually go
Wow.
have a really nice night out and not have to drive anywhere. And now they have the trains, like all the commuter trains now go pretty far north. Like, you can take it all the way up to Santa Barbara.
Wow.
And as far south
Cool.
as San Diego. So it takes a long time, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
if you driving can take half your day.
Right, exactly.
So anyways, okay, well, I don't know what happened to Bianca, so we'll have to get her on the line. We can actually just talk about some of the stuff that we did until the break, and then we can talk about the Italy event. So, like, did you guys end up going out to eat at Sway? I was really just bummed. I wanted to have
We
more
did.
of Renee's food.
I went to Sway. I actually went to Sway on Saturday and had lunch. And then we ended up going to Elizabeth Street, which is my other favorite restaurant in Austin.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where that was when I talked to you, but at that point we decided to do the Uchi happy hour, which I'm super grateful for because that was the first time.
Elizabeth Street. Oh, you had not been to
I had never been
before.
to.
What was
I
it?
interviewed
Yeah.
Tyson last year, and he was just so gracious with his time, but I never got a chance to go in there. So,
Right.
so it was really.
Uchi is definitely like on my top 3 is Sway,
God,
Uchi, and Elizabeth Street.
that jungle curry dish that he
Um,
made was
it's
by
amazing.
far the most flavorful thing I think I've put in my mouth. Like, it was every every possible spice, the perfect amount of. It was the most balanced bite I've had, especially if you add that little crisped pea pod. It was so good. Although I haven't had your food yet, in all fairness.
My food is very artistic that same way. Like, you know, I would try to explain to people, I'm like, you know, one of my pet peeves is like cute food just for the sake of being, you know, or precious food, where each, without making sense. You know?
And I should say you're a chef. I didn't actually say that when we got on the phone. So she's a chef also. So she's the chef on the Italy trip that we're going to be talking about. And a chef in general. Pop-up chef. Pop-up dinners. And
I do, yes. These pop-up restaurant art music events where like we change locations we kind of do it when we feel like doing it. And we'll find like an old, cool, broken down air conditioning factory or a store or anywhere and like
just set
make
it up.
a kitchen and design the whole space and do for one night. People buy tickets and we tell them the day before where they're going to and what kind of footwear they should wear. that's like
yes,
the only
because clearly I'm the one that wears all the wrong footwear.
I'm like, speaking of.
Yeah, no, everywhere I went, people were like, really? I said, look, you understand, I have beautiful clothes provided to me, and I like my pretty heels, okay? I am 5 feet tall. If I wear...
I don't know, most of the time I saw you didn't have shoes on, so that would be telling what kind of footwear they gave you.
I know, I was just brave in the dirt. I was like, whatever, I don't even care. Okay, we have a minute left before we have to take a break.
Okay.
But, all right. So what was your favorite part, do you think, of the week? Did you have, like, a favorite part at the festival? I'm always a little torn about the festival. I did like the fire pit, though. I'm glad I got a little taste of the lamb. That was good.
I really liked hanging out there, although hanging out in between two fires in the middle of a Texas afternoon is a little bit crazy. I kept being like, whoa, it is just so hot. But I hung out there for like 3 hours in the middle of two fire pits.
Yeah, no, by the time when you were like, aren't you hot? I was like, yes, I've sweat pouring down. I'm definitely feeling the sun.
I don't know. You know, I really liked the Rock Your Taco. I thought
that was my favorite after event. I actually liked all the events after the festival. I think those were...
I think everybody's not like so on edge, and you get to actually hang out with the chefs in a more casual environment, which is always nice.
It is, because it's that's more my preference. I'm not the person that likes to go to a bunch of events that everybody else goes to cover it.
My favorite, I have to say, the kind of hangout part.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite part was like we got stuck in that rainstorm, and then
that was the best.
Ortiz and Laura Swihicki, who's Renee's pastry chef, and I like ran to La Condesa and went and just like put kitchen napkins around us and hung out and drank, and that was really fun.
Oh yeah, well we have to take a break in a second, but I'm going to talk about that because when Alan Stone started going on, it was like just a couple of us ended up braving the torrential downpour, and Graham Elliott was one of them, and it was so cool because we were all just sopping wet and didn't even care.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever, we're just going to deal with this. Oh, 30 seconds? No, done. Okay, we're going to take a break, so I'll put you on hold for a second. As soon as you hear you'll hear my cue music.
And hopefully find Bianca.
Yes, oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to put you on hold, so you'll just hear the commercials, and then we'll see if we can get Bianca on the line. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Cool.
I mean, not bye, but hold. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmart, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, we are back on the air. Is Tim back on the line? Or is that Bianca? Okay, hold on. Is that Tim? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, got you back. Sorry about that. Oh, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, hi. Okay, I don't know. I think we're sending Bianca another number because I didn't realize she was in Canada.
Okay.
So the 800 numbers don't work.
Right.
Yes.
I just emailed her, and I'm like, where are you?
Yeah, so we just sent her another number to call, so hopefully she'll call us in a second. Did you get that to her already? Okay. Can you text?
Okay. She
Yeah.
said you sent me a message. Call her, but you sent her a number.
Yeah, because we can't call from here.
Right.
Because we could try to do, the thing is we have the ability to do Skype, but then I can't have you on the line at the same time. We're still working out the kinks. It's like I'm the one that sort of innovated this whole little mass communication with the world. Because I have people calling in from like other countries, but usually, most of the LA radio stations is just local.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm taking it to another level. So, okay. Well, so you could tell me a little bit about your part in the Italy trip. So it's called Italian Fix Travel.
Yeah.
So, like, how would you describe it from your side?
So it's, it's group. I mean, it's Bianca. Italian Fix is Bianca's baby. She lived there for years and knows the whole area really well. Bianca and I have been friends for, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And so when she moved back to Canada and I had moved to Texas and was doing all, pop-ups, I do a lot of design stuff and whatever. We've always just been kindred spirits in the way of, traveling being one of our favorite things. So last year was our first trip. And we just kind of, I think Italian Fix is like about group travel, but that isn't like your typical group travel. So I think it's, trying to it's that niche market of, people like us, like interesting, younger.
I love that we're all interesting, younger.
Interesting, younger. Well, you're young, let's say.
Fierce,
last year we had
fierce
the youngest
women.
person was, I think, yeah, exactly. Like the youngest person was 27 and the oldest person was, I think she was mid-50s. So, when I say young, that range.
Women range.
I'm 42, so I'm like 20 to 60 is young.
Right, absolutely. It really is. Until you're 15 and all of a sudden you're like, man, 30's so old. And then you get there and you're like, that is so not old.
Exactly.
I do not feel my age at all.
No.
Sometimes. I'm a little more tired, but, that's because we're moms, though. I think it's because we're moms more than because of how old we are.
There are days. So it was kind of, trying to come up with a way for that sort of group to be able to, and small. We only take 10 people. So, and last year being our first year, I have to say one of the most amazing things was that we were kind of like, wow, 10 women, like it could go many ways. You know?
Absolutely.
Like,
God, yeah, that's like
there's
working with women. It's
divas,
tricky. It's
there's-
tricky.
Yeah, but you know, it was just like given the environment that we're in, it's so gorgeous and it's so relaxing and there's so many interesting things, you know, like which happens with places like that. There's just, you know, it's like an old world with tons of nature. So, you know, just the whole vibe of Bianca's trip.
Yeah.
Sort of right away, everybody was like they had known each other forever. I mean, it was really amazing. That was my thing I was most amazed at last year. That just all the women, you know, and it wasn't. There were a couple of people that, you know, that came. There were also a few people that came alone. There were a couple of people that came with friends. And
That's
there
what
were
I
a
was
couple
wondering
that
if it was like, because you're the only one that actually has your man there, right?
I was going to say, he's a side thought. No, I mean, he, you know, we wanted, I have to say, it was like invaluable. He's like the Sherpa, like, you know, like the hotel
Right.
we stay
He
at,
guides
you know,
everyone, yeah.
I mean, carries all the heavy stuff. Like when we go on giant shopping trips, we're like, Josh, you're carrying the stuff. So, and he's just like the most mellow, awesome guy ever. So, like, I was like, are you sure that you can handle, you know? So he does in classes with people in the morning, and you know, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, and
I think, do we have her on the line? Yes.
Bianca?
Okay, wait. I think we do. Hang on 1 second. I think Bianca's on the line.
Okay.
Yes? Let's see. I'm waiting for the nod. Yeah. Okay. Hang on 1 second because I'm going to do this conference.
Okay.
So hang on.
Okay. Speaking.
Hi. Is this Bianca?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can make this work. Where's the conference? Let's see. Okay. Do I have you both on the line?
Bianca's here.
And Tim?
Yeah, Tim's here.
All right. Success. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize, Bianca, that you were in Canada and we're just not cool enough yet to have the 800 numbers that
Well,
go.
you know, Canada's just not that cool enough to, you know, we're backwater up here. We're absolutely backwater. So I am so sorry to stress you out.
Oh my God, did not at all. Totally did not stress me. I was just like, I just didn't want to, you know, I wanted to make sure you were there.
Oh, yeah, no, I've just been like, woo, trying lots of numbers.
Sorry, hang on. Somebody's sending me a message right now while I'm on the line. Okay, so we were just talking about the trip, and she was talking about Josh and how he is there and he's invaluable because he's like the Sherpa / trainer. So now, Bianca, tell me how you came up with this whole concept.
Well, I came up with it because I feel like I sort of had a lucky break. I met an Italian man.
Oh, yes.
And he showed me, you know, the place from like a local's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to Italy on my own, before that, I didn't have that perspective. I didn't even know how to order dinner. And it's very different when you're with somebody who knows where to go and how to travel, and it's a different perspective. And so then I thought, wow, I really have something to share with others.
Right.
And it's an opportunity for other people to see Italy through more of a local's eyes.
Right.
And so that's how I had the idea.
Now, I did hear, there was some kind of, like, not a natural disaster per se, but they had some really bad storms
you're
happen.
right.
And is it recovering now?
Well, yeah, I mean, essentially, the Cinque Terre is just terraced slopes
Oh,
that
right.
lead down
Okay.
to the sea, and they're built up with all of these wine terraces.
Mm.
And they had a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, some of the terraces gave way, which caused a landslide down into a few of the towns in the area.
Got it.
And they're recovering. They've dug themselves out. Very tough people. Liguriani.
Yeah, of course, they're Italian.
And they're like Italians from the seaside, Ligurians, right?
So now, where is that in comparison to, say, like Amalfi Coast?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's a great question because it is sort of the Amalfi Coast of the north.
Okay.
It's the extension of the French coastline.
Got it.
So the French coastline comes down, and then there's northern Italy, and then, the Cinque Terre is just there. So it's just a hop from the Pisa airport, really.
So now here's a question, because I've, as many times as I've traveled, Italy is the one place I have not been yet. which is
wow,
yeah, which
that's
is a
so
place
exciting.
I really want to go. But
Yeah.
so I'm assuming then, because it's there's a little bleed over probably from France. Is the wine a very like Italian French blend? Because of I wonder if it's like, everybody's getting their influence from somewhere, but if it,
For sure.
if that that region has such rich wines, and just north of that in France, if you can taste that in the wines in that region.
Well, the grape that grows in that particular area is called the Vermentino,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a white grape, and it's not a very cultivated grape beyond that region.
Okay.
It's dry, and it is very particular to that region. Now,
love that,
Italy
actually. There's
is so
probably a good
regional,
story.
just like France, and so you travel 2 hours south, and you're in full Chianti Classico,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
it's really so much variation within a short time, and for North Americans, we really don't get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think people understand the true nature of winemaking in general. Sometimes I think they like to drink it. I love to drink it, but I find it fascinating that every region, depending on environment and weather and soil and everything, totally transforms what that grape ends up tasting like, no matter what they do to it.
Well, it's very incredible in that particular region. They do not export a lot because there's so little land. And so the wines that you'll drink there, are in very small production. And there's a co-op winery, which we visit, actually.
Is one of the wines Bosco Abarola Vermentino? Vermentino?
Vermentino, yeah.
Okay, because my I don't know what you would be called, my engineer maybe.
Yeah.
In the booth, he just pulled up a shot of the wine. He's very on it. He's very good about pulling stuff up on the fly. So then this trip, and so I know you girls have been friends, she said, over 20 years. But how did you incorporate the whole, like the setup of the trip itself? I so understand the beauty in trying to bring the culture of Italian life, like the real Italian, different region anyways. And then just... then you can talk about sort of the love of falling in love basically with life is what I think of it. And with yourself, I love that whole concept. But how food and what Tim does sort of played its role. Was it just a natural thing to bring her on board, or was it something that evolved?
Well, I mean, honestly, to put it plainly, Tim is the funniest person that I know.
She really is. She is not only, yes, I have to concur. Funny and just a fun person to be around.
I know a lot of really wonderful people, and Tim is a wonderful light in my life. We have been friends for 20 years, and she has always been a great, positive, fun influence in my life. And when I thought about doing these trips, it was a no-brainer. I called Tim very first. She didn't even skip a beat. She says, "Of course I'll do this." And I said, "Perfect."
I love that. Well, who doesn't want to go to Italy, right? I'm going to have to take a break in about 10 seconds, and then I'll have you guys on hold, and then we'll come back after the break so we can keep talking about this. And the dates for this trip, really quick, that we are discussing, it's July, right? No, June. Sorry, June. And what are the precise dates?
June 18th to 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
7 days, 6 nights.
Okay. Oh, perfect. All right. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, you guys can talk about what you have planned for this trip. Okay. You'll hear the music in like 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. I'll be right back, girls. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time. Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS, G-U-Y-S, and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
This segment has been brought to you by Coco Cafe. It's a cafe latte coconut water with espresso. And I came across this wonderful little drink just recently, and it has to be one of the best things I've ever had. I'm pretty obsessed with cocoa water and espresso, so the thought of it together was a little bit, I wasn't sure what I was going to get, but my gosh, let me tell you, it's super tasty. It's made with natural coconut water, a strong shot of espresso, and a splash of reduced fat milk. You can visit them online for more information at drinkcococafe.com. Once again, I want to thank everyone at Coco Cafe for being a sponsor of this radio show. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, you back on the line with me? Oh. Are you guys back? Oh, no. What do I have to do? All right, are you there? Hello? How am I doing this? Yeah, I did it. Oh, no, I did it. Okay, are you guys there? No. 1, hold, 2, conference. Okay, are you guys there? Sorry.
I'm here. Bianca's here. I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes to wrap this up. So I just want to make sure that we maximize that. And so if you could tell anybody what you would want them to know the most about this trip, like if you could kind of sum it up in one, like, really brief statement, what would you say?
Bianca? Should I take this answer over?
You take this.
Would you like to answer?
You take it.
I feel like this is an opportunity to have a really real Italian experience, something that you might think about that only other people have.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the experience that blends meeting locals, indulging in the best food and wine, and seeing the little secret spots. Also, it is an opportunity to take a break from everybody's crazy busy lives. I mean, where else do you get to do that? Vacations are usually so much work in themselves. You've got to plan everything. You've got to figure everything out. This is not like that. This is just like, we take care of you.
You even tell them what to pack, like what they need and what they don't need, which I find brilliant because I am a notorious overpacker. So
yes. No, it's like a camp. You know, when you go to summer camp, you know, in the summer,
right? You bring 4 shirts, 2 shorts, 2 pants.
This is specific, but it's Italian Riviera style. So, you know, it's more like wedges and a floaty dress, and you know, we get right down to detail.
So we could really be fashionable, and I could wear my wedges. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I could wear my pretty shoes. Okay.
Talk to Tim about the shoes. She brought the most beautiful shoes last year, and I was like, ooh, those are nice.
Right? No, I love me some shoes. I do. So the cost of the trip is $35, right? $3,500. Okay,
Yes, and it's an all-inclusive price. Like, you're getting your hotel, your meals, all of your day trip transportation, your personal trainer every morning, your cooking classes, and
cocktails.
Really? Wines and everything. That is the greatest.
Yeah, cocktails. Like,
And-
we throw parties. We're like, you come in and we pick you up from the train station and you get a cocktail in your hand and you're just sitting there taking everything in. I mean, it's just the most low maintenance thing.
Well,
That's what we wanted. It's like a really full service thing. We treat you like a friend.
I love
We're
that.
not like a big tour company. We're two women with a lot of energy and passion and love for what we do. And we're inviting other people who want to experience that. And for a week, to take a week from your life, from busyness.
Oh, but I love that idea. I mean, I actually had planned a trip to Puglia, where I was trying. I was going to do this whole thing. It just fell through because the people that I was dealing with just weren't quite as professional as I would have preferred them to be.
Yeah.
And it was a really big deal because I wanted to take people to experience. Through the things that I've done, I wanted to teach them to experience their senses and really just pause. So I love the whole concept.
Beautiful.
So I'm really looking forward. I'm going to make it happen. So I will be there, and I'll make sure that we get lots of people involved. So they'll go there too.
Well, thank you, Dawn.
Yeah, well,
It'd be an honor and a pleasure, honestly.
Well, it was such an honor to meet you in person. And Bianca, I think that's so funny that we already connected on Twitter.
I know.
Right? How random is that? That's so, I mean, not really random. It's like there's kismet here happening. There was a reason we all were connected, right?
I know. I feel like that too.
So I will make sure that I post everything. And for everybody listening, the website is Italian Fix. Is it, how do you, it's
ItalianFix.com.
Okay, so ItalianFix.com. All of the information's there. It's actually a beautiful, beautiful website. Are you guys on Facebook as well with that?
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't find it. What is it? Just
Italian Fix. Yeah, it's a Facebook.com or Facebook.
Oh, there we go. I see it. Got it.
/Italian Fix.
Perfect. Got it. Okay. So I have all of that, and I'm going to post it right now. And I just want to thank you, ladies, for creating something to give us a chance to live our lives a little bit more richer and fuller and a lot more relaxed. So I appreciate it, and I'm sure all the ladies that I know are listening who will want to go appreciate it too, because it's nice to have some color in our lives, you know?
Yeah, it really is. And color in Italy.
I know. I can't even wait.
Italy was made for women.
It really, I know, and beauty, all beauty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Bianca, thank you so much, and Tim, thank you so much, and I'll make sure
Thank
too
you, Dawn.
that all the stuff's on my website. I'll have that up as well, and then it's going to be on Crackbook right now. So
You are an absolute gem, Dawn. Thank you so much.
you're so welcome. Have a really good rest of your day, Bianca. Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. So I have to pick up this other line here because it's just hang up. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. So I just want to thank the ladies for calling in. And really the beauty of this is that it just enhances everything that we experience in life. And who doesn't want to go to Italy? This is the perfect excuse. I needed to go, so I'm going to figure out a way to get there. And I want to complete this whole Austin trip for you, because basically I ended up with Saturday. Saturday we did the Rock Your Taco event, and it was torrential downpour. And during the torrential downpour, they had a really extraordinary artist perform named Alan Stone. If we have even like a 30-second clip of him, Julio, can we play that? His music is very raw and soulful. And he's kind of reminds me of like watching the way he moves, has that ease of like how Mick Jagger would move, but he's got this very soulful, beautiful voice that's very raw. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and put just like a few seconds so you guys can listen to a little bit of it.
Every day the deficit grows. You spend more than you own. Well, Papa always said to me,
I gave him my card. So if Alan, if you are anywhere paying attention, I would love to have you come out here, maybe get you at Hotel Cafe or something, do some kind of event, because your voice is just so beautiful and this is really unique. So during his performance, it started to drizzle. And then before you know it, was a torrential downpour. Mind you, I was in the prettiest dress provided to me, other than the one that I have on, by Pinup Girl Clothing. Sopping wet. My hair was in a finger wave. I had gone through this whole trouble of just looking pretty. And by the end of the day, my makeup was like, I wiped off. The rain had soaked. My hair was just, I looked like a wet rag. And I didn't care. And it was me dancing. And then there was this other girl there. And she's like, "What? Look at us. We got nowhere to go." And I was like, "I actually do have somewhere to go, but it's totally fine." She's like, "Who cares?" And then here's Graham Elliott. So it's like very few of us actually stayed in the rain. And Graham and I and this girl and like maybe a handful of other people were just letting the rain fall over us. No hats, no umbrellas, just doing it. And it was so fun and beautiful. And then I had to take a pedicab. With the pedicab that was like an honest pedicab, he did it for $5, and he just thought it was cool that I was dressed up in the pouring rain, and the funny comments were, "You're from LA and you stayed out in the rain," and I thought, yes, I'm not typical LA. Thank you very much. I love being in the pouring rain. There's something very beautiful and inspiring about that. I don't know, it's kind of moody and sultry, and I felt like I was in a movie in the pouring rain in a fancy dress being pulled along in a pedicab. Anyways, on my way to the W Hotel. So here I go to this fancy event at Trace. All the chefs are there. Well, a lot of the chefs were there. And it was a Parisian themed event. And Lawrence was the chef at Trace at the W in Austin was just so generous and I was so grateful that we were extended the invitation to go. So I was there, and Lee and Lauren, my friends, were there, and it was great food. And I thought, I just want to say hi to the chef really quick. So finally, after a while, they come and Lawrence sees me, leads me by the hand and says, "Come on," takes us into the kitchen where there's a whole nother party going on. And it was this great, like, private little event in the kitchen. And what was on drip but absinthe? Yes, in this beautiful, like, old school pour. Absinthe, if you don't know what absinthe is, it is called the Green Fairy for a reason, because when people drink too much of it, you kind of have hallucinations and it's a little crazy. I don't know how people drank as much as they did, because I had crazy dreams that night. But I had just a little bit. But the real indulgence of that entire night was the mass amounts of foie that he allowed me to just partake. I probably took in myself like 20,000 calories, and I did not care because it was delicious and it was so nice to have it. He had foie pate on this really lovely little toast, and then he had a sea urchin compote kind of on the top of it. Yeah, there's the Green Fairy. And they had these cotton candy desserts, and they had these absinthe little candy balls, and really everything that was in that kitchen was just this kind of an accent to what we had tasted out and sampled in the other part of the restaurant, like the main part of the restaurant. But it was so much fun to just hang out and just really get to talk to him as a chef. And Brian Willarkey was back there, and Paul Key and Dina came back there, and it was just fun. It was really fun. I think that was one of my favorite moments on that trip, aside from sitting down with Andrew and Georgie. It was just the kind of moment that you hope to have. You can't possibly plan it out. And I really was like a sopping mess. Poor Dina saw me when I walked in, and she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I said, "I'm totally fine." And it was worth every ounce of it. And Joyce, I have to say, at the W Hotel, best cocktails I've ever had. She gets some kind of special award because she's really an extraordinary mixologist and bartender. Brought me a towel in the back and everything. So, yeah, they were just super good to me there. So the W in Austin, you definitely hold a special place in my heart. We've got 1 minute left before we take our next break. It might be our last break. Yeah. And then I can finish up because I really want to get to Sunday's event. Was the last day of the last day of the food festival. And after that, I got to go to Uchi and had an extraordinary meal. And then, of course, Monday went to Barton Springs, and then went to my beautiful hotel at Haywood Hotel. And then after that, Tuesday, the PR company, Polybular PR, just did a wonderful event. So I got to do a sit-down and tasting with Sean Serkiel of Olive and June. And then he rushed us over to Parkside and Backspace and got to do another tasting with him there, followed by a tasting at Carillon with Josh Watkins. So it was a perfect way to end my trip. So we'll talk about that when we come back after the break. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time. Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, I'm back, and I'm in my last, 15 minutes of the show, so I'm going to take this last few minutes to talk about the finish of my trip. I do want to say thanks to Rant Radio Network for allowing me the opportunity to do this show, and if you haven't gone to it, we're actually going to be moving a lot of my videos over to the network page. So there's the youtube.com and then / Rant Radio Network, and I think / A Taste of Dawn. I think you can go and actually, if you click on, I'll post the link, but you can find all of my videos. We just have to update some of the information on there. But rather than having you go to two places, just go to the network page and you can watch the whole feed of all my shows. So I do want to finish talking about the last day. So we had that great party at the W, and forever impacted from that trip, from that one event. And then on Sunday was the very last day of the festival. And the really was really great because I had met also at the Rock Your Taco event, I had met, Mateo Barrera from H.E.M. and Andrew, and just a really cool staff from H.E.M. Markets, which is a big market in Austin that offers quality products. It sounds like I'm giving the commercial, but it really is the quality products at an affordable price. So they took over the Albertson space over in Westlake in Austin, and that's the one that I went to. But when I was there and I met Mateo, on Sunday they had a little tasting, and they had told me, you got to come to the tasting because they had these little Hush Pops things, and I missed them because I was running around. But I did end up having their bison wrapped in this Parmesan stick, and it was so good. But then, in addition to the perfectly balanced bison, they had their pecan pie. Now, I'm not a big sweet person per se. I'm not a big overindulgent. I want sweets. But then I had the s'mores, and then I had the pecan pie. And whenever I say pecan pie, for those of you who have ever watched When Harry Met Sally, I always think I should say pecan pie. And if you have not seen the movie, that will not be funny. But if you have seen the movie, you'll understand. So needless to say, Mateo says, you got to have this with this wine. And the wine was called a Carbonero Red. It's actually from California. So I'm going to go find this winery because I need to go and have them sponsor something. It was some of the coolest wine I've had. It was undertoned with habanero. So I have this super sweet bite of pecan pie. I'm not sure how everyone says it, a little bit different, but served with this Carbonero Red, which was really, the finish is habanero. And it was not overwhelming. It sounds so strange, but the sweet and spice was so stinking delicious. So after the wine festival ended and got to hang out with everybody there, including Renee. So Renee Ortiz, I'm coming back. I got to do like a full meal at Sway. And Ramen Tatsuya, I really got to go there. So there's so many restaurants I have to go back to, 24 Diner. I'd love to go back and see Mark Paul at Wink. So went through all this, and then I decided, you know what? I want to have a really good meal, and I really want to go to Uchi. So Lauren and Lee and I decided to do happy hour because they have a really great happy hour at Uchi. So if you were to go, say, to my magazine page, there is, let me just pull this up so I can tell you exactly what the post is called. So go to atodmagazine.com, and right at the very first thing that you open is a food and wine image. And you'll see this box, this cedar box, and inside is a shot glass. And it is sake. That's how they serve their sake. It is so visually stunning, and it spills over into the box. So the one that I had was the Yuki no Bosha, and it's called Junmai Daiginjo. Yeah. So this was a really good sake, and that's how I started my. There we go. That's how I started, and I took that picture. I was so proud of that photograph, by the way. It was turned out like the perfect photograph that I took. But so then we go, and I knew Phil wasn't going to be there. I knew Tyson wasn't going to be there, but I thought, you know what? I know that they train their staff so incredibly well, and I have no doubt it's just going to be an extraordinary meal no matter what. So we go and start ordering just about everything that we could possibly order. But the best part was, let's see if I can find this. Hang on one second, because I want to make sure I have everything that we start with starters. Okay, so we started with let's see. We did well, we had edamame, and the edamame was very good, but we had spicy tuna, I think. No, the one that was so good, if I could I don't have my menu here. I'm going to write all about it, I promise. But there was is it Hot Rock? What was it? Cool Tastings. Okay, so we did the Uchi Viche, I think. Is that right? I feel like the Maigura sashimi and goat cheese is really, really good. The hama chili, really good. But basically every single bite that we had was extraordinary. However, we ended up getting foie. They knew I hadn't had foie. And hang on, let me see if I can find this really quick. Let me see if I can find. Okay, but I have to say, so Ryan Anderson, who is the manager there, it was just super fun. Loves to rap. So one of these days, I'm going to get Ryan to call in. He's like this tall white guy who likes to rap, Notorious B.I.G. And I just think that's too funny. So, and then Chester was our server. So the thing about Chester that you got to know is he knows his stuff. But he's not pushy. He will give it to you straight. Like there was a dish that the one girl who was fairly new said, "Oh, you got to try it with the apple and da-da-da." And he goes, no, do the apple as your finish. And that little switch up made all the difference. And he told us, kind of guided us towards what, based on our taste and what we wanted. And he was just super well-versed and just a great guy. Now, thankfully, we're all friends. So it's the beauty of when you travel. You get to make friends with pretty extraordinarily wonderful people. So, so thanks, Chester. And thank you, Ryan, because Ryan sent me a really funny email after that. And an attachment to the Notorious B.I.G. video on YouTube. So that just shows you how he rolls. But I'm going to run out of time here. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody at Uchi. But that foie gras that I had was one of the best pieces of foie gras I have ever had. And I am very picky about my foie, and I love good foie. So thank you. And I am going to take you up on that, Ryan. I hope next time I will move to Austin if you promise me that it will rain foie all the time. And then I could just eat it at random, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So if you can work on that, I will relocate with my daughter. Really, all of Austin, I wouldn't mind living there, to be honest. But I have to get to my next day because I went to Barton Springs Pool, which is this beautiful, beautiful long pool in the middle of the forest, or middle of like this natural terrain, really. So there's trees everywhere, and it's kept at like 65 degrees, but there's kelp and everything in there, and it was gorgeous. If you get a chance to go, please go. It's $3 to enter. It pays for like the national parks and recreation areas, and then that was my wonderful Monday night, and then we ended up. I ended up checking into. Oh wait, I never got to finish telling you. Mateo brought me the bottle of wine, the Carbonero, because we went to HEM to get the wine. It wasn't there. He brought us bottles to my friend's house. So I just have to say, HEM, you keep him around because Mateo rocks. And I really hope that we'll get to do some business together because all the stuff that you're promoting, I would love to help broaden your voice. So now on to Monday night. Monday night, I got to check into the Haywood Hotel, which was by far my dream hotel. Why? Because it was like Dwell Magazine, which is the house I want to build. If you've never been in never looked at Dwell Magazine, they're prefab, sustainable, beautiful pieces of property, modern, clean, never wasted. And I will post pictures up on my site later when I do all my reviews again, but you have to go check it out. Haywood, HEYWOOD Hotel in Austin. Such a great hotel. Thank you to Kathy, the owner, who just made everything so perfect. And I have to mention that when you go to hotels, the most ridiculous part of the hotel is the minibar. Nothing is over $4 in the minibar there. Nothing. And even their bottles of wine are just above what you would spend at the grocery store, if not at cost. It was totally... If every hotel did that, they would make so much more money and have such happier customers. So thank you to them. And you guys to me, you paved the way in how hospitality should be done. Next time I'm coming back for a week. So then I got to go Tuesday. Paula Beeler, PR, set up my tasting with Sean Circule. I interviewed Sean last year. It was one of the more fun interviews that I got to do. And I really loved interviewing him. And I was so excited to meet him. Such a cool guy. You got to eat at all of his restaurants because everyone is slightly different. But the passion and the love and the devotion to just having a constantly wonderful, happy experience is something that they nurture and foster in their staff and everything. And they train their staff so incredibly well. And I just have to say thank you so much, Sean, for everything because we got there and it was totally off the cuff because he didn't realize that we were doing a tasting. He brought out 2 extraordinary desserts and I was more a fan of the oh gosh, it was citrus. It was a citrus. I can't remember right now. The crumble was so good. But really, it was beautiful. And I have to thank Steven because he was the pastry chef who rocked it and so put it together really. We went in and they don't serve until dinner and they did it for us. And so thank you. And we got a tour of the kitchen, which is the most organized, well-stocked, probably defines how all walk-ins and kitchens should be organized because it was perfect. It was like you would never not know where something was. So I have to commend him for that. And then he was like, all right, you know what? We're going to do a tasting. Come on. So then we get in, we're all driving ourselves. Jane Coe, I have to say really quick, you are really a gift. And I'm so thankful that I got to do all of this with you. So I'm looking forward to all the pictures that you took. And I'm looking forward to coming back and working with you more. So we went to Backspace and had pizza. And he had this great marguerite pizza, and this meatball dish that blew my mind. Simple cauliflower and this salad. The salad was so good. It was the way that they made the vinaigrette, they really just used the ingredients. And it was brilliant, to be honest. And just so happy and hearty and rustic and wonderful. But the pizza that really blew my mind, it's all sourdough crust and airy. It was cheese with arugula on top. And it was so tasty and different. It was really something. And then the desserts, of course, the way they presented the desserts, Stephen also put those together and just beautiful and simple. And everyone is slightly different. One's more fancy, one's more rustic, one's more down home. And it was really something. And after that, I wrapped up my trip going to see Josh Watkins at Carillon, who, again, did a spur of the moment tasting for me. And I have to say, you guys got to go get the pokey. It's an 80-step process. And I think it's a very interesting process. But what was to me the best was the fish dish that let's see if I can find my menu. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yes. The dish that really blew my mind. Let's see if I can find it. Where do we go? Shoot. Okay, wait. I have to find this because it's going to kill me if I can't find it on this menu. Oh, no, that wasn't what we had. It wasn't the olive oil. The miso marinated marrow. By far, you got to get it. I know I just totally blocked my face, didn't I? You got to get that. Please go order it. Go visit him. It was so tasty. Maitake mushroom and this carrot ginger base. It was delicious. So I know we're running out of time and I don't get to talk about everything, but I'm going to have Josh call in. I'm going to have Lawrence call in, and I'm hoping to get Sean to call in. And if we can get Uchi to call in, it would just be wonderful because I'd love to have them talk about how they come up with their menus. Tonight, I have to wrap this up, and I just want to say thank you so much to Austin, to the Austin Food and Wine Alliance, to Food and Wine, Austin Food and Wine, and every hotel I got to go to, every restaurant I got to enjoy. You really just fed my soul in so many ways, and all the people I got to meet, you're just little gifts in my life. So, and thanks to Lee and Lauren and Ann, who really just kind of rolled out the red carpet and hung out with me, and I loved them for it. So, and my cousin Kevin, you rock. And Lauren. Okay, so we have got 1 minute left, and I need to just tell you that tonight at Hotel Cafe, 8 o'clock, Totsi the band is performing, and I will be there along with Alexis. I'm hoping my columnist Greg, who interviewed UB40, and Pat Tobanton and William Pilgrim will be there. Go. It's a super cheap cover. I think it's like $15 at the most. It might even be 10. It's 10. If you haven't been to Hotel Cafe, just find it. Remember, you got to go around the back alley, which looks kind of shady. So worth it. Go. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them perform, and then I'm going to have them come on next. Next week, we have Cali Conscious performing live. So if you're in the mood for some really good like island reggae, that's where you start. And then we're going to move on to Orlando Napier, who was my boy that played at the piano bar, and I can't wait. So hopefully we'll get Mark Houston in here too. All right. Well, have a lovely week, you guys. And again, if you can come out, join me at Hotel Cafe tonight, 8 o'clock. I will be there in black and white. So come find me. And of course, you can't miss my assistant. She's very, very tall and blonde, and we will be like the girls that are going retro. So have a great night, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.